to Commercial Break. I'm Rebecca Michael. We bring you everything pop culture and all about commercials here at thestream.tv. We've got Mike, who's been in the chat room with you guys for like the last 15, 20 minutes. Mike, what's going on in there?
We're having a good time over here. We actually started a few topics before the show that are still carrying through. We're trying to figure out products that were arrived at mistakenly. They were trying to invent one thing and then ended up inventing something else. And then we're discussing what actually happened to the ShamWow guy, whether or not he actually went to prison or if he was just in jail and arrested. So that's a topic. And then they're starting to work up some questions for our guest and some adjectives.
All right, cool, awesome. Well, you guys, tonight we have an amazing guest. He has been in a lot of commercials, a lot of TV, film. He also has been in a couple web series online right now that we're going to tell you guys all about. And he knows a lot about the commercial casting business. So please welcome Kirk Zipfel here with us tonight.
Hi, thank you. I'm glad to be here tonight. All right. Hi, Internet. What do I look? Here, there, what?
Well, Kirk and I, as you can see, are wearing matching outfits. We planned this.
We certainly did, didn't we?
We did. We planned this through the Facebook.
I brought my blood red shirt. I was like, I'm going to be the only one in red tonight. I don't think so.
And then I showed up in my tramp shirt with my little red straps.
You do look kind of trampy.
I do.
If this were a Star Trek episode, you'd both be dead in the first 5 minutes.
Why is that how they demarcate that?
The red shirt ensign.
Oh, really?
Red shirt ensign? Is that like?
The chat rooms know what I'm talking about.
Okay,
at least
please explain. I'm lost.
On old episodes of Star Trek, whenever they beam down with an away team and they'd always have to kill one guy to establish danger, there would be some extra in a red tunic. And, you know,
yeah.
he would do something crazy and get killed, and they also did it in the new movie. They carried it over.
What was Sam Rockwell's character's name from Galaxy Quest? He was Sam, or no, Guy. That was his name, Guy. That was a great. You guys remember that part?
They'll remember. I'm sure they'll.
Sam Rockwell, where he's like the guy who had no last name, so he was definitely gonna die. He's like, "What's my last name?
Exactly.
I don't have one. I'm gonna die." They're like, "Shut up, Guy." What a great. Sam Rockwell was so great in that movie. He was hilarious.
I don't remember a lot of that movie.
You don't remember?
No,
do you remember when he comes out of the teleporter and he's like, he just starts screaming right when the goo like recedes down from his face? It's hilarious.
I think I need to Netflix that again. That and Spaceballs. Do you guys remember Spaceballs? All right, I'm really old right now. Okay. Kirk, you probably don't remember that.
I remember Spaceballs.
Yeah, I don't remember Spaceballs.
Absolutely.
I mean, come on, I've only seen it like 50 times.
Mike.
The second best thing Rick Moranis ever did.
Mike,
after Ghostbusters.
Steerpike blessed us with his presence tonight, I saw.
Steerpike is back.
I mean, Steerpike, where have you been? It's been like 6 months.
I know, that's like a throwback to the first show.
It's like a throwback to the 1950s that Steerpike is here. Anyway, so what else is going on in the news? We haven't killed anyone this week. Nobody's died because of commercial break. Because we now have this thing we call the curse of commercial break, where I was working on getting Billy Mays and he passed away, and then I was working on getting the Taco Bell dog, and then she kicked it. And then I was working on getting the ShamWow guy, and then he got in a fight with a hooker. And we don't know if he went to jail for that yet, but I am still working on him. So if you guys want to write any of his, I think he has like a fan page on Facebook. If you guys want to write to him and tell him to come on the show, I'm sure he'd love to hear from you. And further update on the free credit report guy, he's still in English classes. So we're working on that. Recap, he's French, in case you guys didn't know. He's lip syncing.
Free credit report guy is lip syncing?
Yeah, see, Kirk, you could have gotten that campaign.
I did have that campaign. As we will see later, not to show my rage is why I'm here in red. I did the campaign for Applebee's, which was in 2006, which was just before those credit reports started showing up, and their first commercial was like set in like a seafood restaurant, where our first one was set, and they were exactly like us, except no talent.
Oh my gosh.
I probably shouldn't have said any of that.
I didn't know this.
Yeah, no.
I don't see why they just didn't hire you. I think they shoot him in Canada because he's French-Canadian. So they go cheap, is what we're saying, people, because when things go to Canada, it means they're lower budget. So just some info for you commercial people out there. But Kirk's been in a lot of stuff, okay? He's not just a commercial guy, but you have actually taught about commercials.
It's true. I run
Tell me a little bit.
Kirk's Casting Couch. That's the name of the class. It's a great, like, because I worked in commercials I've worked behind the camera, worked for casting directors, shooting commercial auditions, filming them, literally seeing 80 to 100 people a day, kids, old people, douchebags, girls, whatever, coming into the room. I do this for I did that for 5 years. I would put them on tape all day long.
And do you think that that helped you become a successful commercial actor?
Totally.
Totally.
So we'll say that it definitely helped in getting me, because the most important thing about casting is casting knows who you are, you know them. So for me to know the directors personally was great because they saw me, they saw my personality, they knew who I was on a first name basis. That's more important than anything else.
Right, exactly.
But that's what I teach my students. My class is more of a technical class than a commercial acting. Show me how you eat that graham cracker. Mine's more just this is the camera, look here, hold your focus, don't look away. You don't want to look shifty. Play the camera, know the boundaries of the framing so that you can be funny on camera.
That's cool. Well, we can get into more of that because I'm sure they're going to have a lot of questions for you about that process because they're very interested in acting and all that kind of stuff. But before we keep chatting, I do want to show this hilarious commercial that Kirk did. It was for Mini Cooper. So, Ethan, let's go ahead and take a look at that.
How did you ever get so? 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 What?
Thanks. You too. I think.
You do realize you're driving on the wrong side of the road.
This is America, man.
Right then. Good show. Carry on.
Very good.
Thank you.
We like that one.
Thank you.
I was torn between the Mini Cooper and the Volkswagen Beetle.
When the new one came out?
Yes. I really struggled with that. And here was my motivation, parking in LA. I was like, both cars were perfect for that. That was my mentality, was I wanted a smaller car. So at the time I had to park on the street.
So which one did you get?
I actually got the Beetle.
Big mistake.
But that was because I didn't see that commercial right before I went out to buy the car.
That must have been the problem. I don't know, if I was given the option between a Mini Cooper and a Beetle, I don't really think that's much of a choice.
But my Beetle's a convertible.
Even so.
Robin,
they make the Minis in
I know they do.
Come in convertibles. I don't know. They just seem much cooler to me. The Beetle's kind of yay, I have a car.
Well, the Beetle's a chick car.
Totally.
So you shouldn't want the Beetle because most of the guys that I know that drive a Beetle live in West Hollywood.
The best thing about that commercial, that Mini commercial, was when we were shooting it. It was in Valley of Fire State Park in Nevada, outside of Las Vegas. And I was watching Viva Las Vegas a few years later. It's the same road that we drive up the same thing.
Right.
And Elvis is driving with his fake background, and Ann Margaret's next to him. And they're like, oh, let's go to Hoover Dam, But the funny thing was that they had a stunt driver to drive that other car, and he had to he was supposed to look like me, so he had a big wig on and a painted on Fu Manchu. And I saw this stunt guy talking to the stunt coordinator. He's like, okay, safety first is what we're gonna do. Okay, we're gonna make sure we take it safe and easy. He's got makeup. He looks like one of the Globetrotters. This is faked on mustache and everything. As he's talking safety. No one's gonna drive off a cliff today. Okay, I'm gonna get in that car and pretend I'm this kid with the mustache.
That drive is an awesome drive, though.
Yeah.
And I totally could tell from watching it that that's where you guys were. Hey, Mike,
yes.
Do they have some questions for Kirk?
We do. We have first of all, I've thrown it open to the chat stars.
Okay.
Mini Cooper or Beetle. And the early returns are the Mini Cooper.
Of course,
Totally.
they're going to go against me.
The Mini Cooper, although Woozle does chime in that they enjoy the rally sport version of the Beetle, but this is a very fluid situation. These are early returns. We don't want to declare a winner.
Rally sport?
WestJet enjoys the Beetle, so this could still go either way. We'll explore this further. Kirk, it's also tradition in the chat with the chat stars. They decide who our guests look like, and so far you're getting Seth Rogen.
Yeah, you know.
Of course. There's going to be more though, and they'll get more innovative.
He's way better looking than Seth Rogen.
When I wore glasses like 2 years ago, I mean I wear glasses. 3 years ago, Jack Osborne. That's all I ever heard.
Nice.
People are so
They're laughing in the booth.
lame. You just get led along. Whatever's popular that day.
We do have one question for Kirk
Okay.
from Loyal Casanova. Kirk, in addition to your acting class, do you also run Kirk's casting couch?
I do run Kirk's Casting Couch, as we mentioned earlier. I teach a class. I'm a teacher, and I'm going to be a daddy in about 10 days.
And that's what happens when you run your own class.
That's right.
Called Kirk's Couch.
Is that the actual
Casting
name of
couch.
That's the actual name of the course?
What?
That's the actual name of the class?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Kirk's
Oh, I missed
Casting
that. I
Couch.
thought they were making a joke. They must have missed it too.
Yeah, they did.
I think Loyal.
That's the name of it.
I
Kirk's
think
Casting Couch.
I think Loyal just entered the show too. I don't know if he had gotten that we had talked about that. Okay, really quick, I want to give a shout out to my peeps. I want to say hi to Pibe38, Mac Attack, Shauno, B Bear, WestJet, Sofa64, Tumor 20. How you doing? Drink Moxie, Delta 261, Gothic Smurf. I'm glad you're here. 1.21 blah 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 gigawatts. Original Justin 3, Starliner, Rabid, Penguin Monger, G4 Ninja Man, Paparazzi, C Rapids, Steerpike, Marks 09, and Loyal Casanova. Thank you for checking us out.
Or as Mike Beatrice would call, Crapids. Not C
Yeah,
Rapids,
Mike called.
but
Yeah,
Crapids.
what is that, Mike?
How are you, Crapids?
Is it Crapids or C Rapids?
I feel like going with Crappens until
Sorry, mine's one.
I get
No.
notified otherwise.
After the flood, they sort of did become Crapids.
All right.
This water tastes like Crapids.
So we've got a lot of commercials with Kirk. So I'm going to go ahead and keep it moving because, okay, Kirk, recap, just a quick intro, did a campaign for Fridays and he played a character. And I know you guys love when our commercial stars play characters. Like we've had a lot of people on here who do that. So he also did a whole campaign, and these are just some of the spots from that. So let's go ahead and take a look at Burger.
Burger! You got a beef with the Inferno. You're going down. Oh! Spicy, spicy, mommy.
Can you take on Friday's new spicy Jack Daniels grill? Get your favorite Jack Daniels
It
grill
looks like
entrees now with
petroleum
a spicy
that they poured
kick.
all over that hamburger.
It does look like
It
petroleum.
looks like they just took oil and were like, black gold.
But that's my kind of burger, though, because I'm a Jack Daniels girl.
Are you?
Mm-hmm. I love Jack Daniels, and Mike is a Jameson's guy.
The Jameson burger just doesn't really have that zing to it. Something like Irish whiskey on a burger.
It's worth trying though. Ooh, maybe the Jameson corned beef sandwich.
Ooh.
Now we're talking.
That'll be
That
a top
could be
seller.
something.
Maybe they get some sauerkraut. Can I get a side of sauerkraut on there? Sir, you're gonna have to leave the restaurant.
I'm surprised that Brian's not convulsing at the picture of the burger because we know how much he loves burgers around here. Mike, do they have questions on the Fridays stuff?
They do. Tumor 20 wants to know if you stuffed your unitard. It's a fair question.
My tard was Mike. I appreciate your honesty, and I will say, who's the caller who was interested?
Tumor 20.
Tumor 20. I was just fatter then. That's all. It's my lovely wife will attest to. I'm a little skinnier these days.
Kirk, I have a question. What was the character's name? Did he have a name? Like,
He did
he's
have a
kind of like a
name.
superhero.
He had a name. His name was the Inferno.
That was it?
Yeah. Well, they were toying around with El Fuego, but they thought that was too ethnic, and so they changed their minds.
Oh, they were scared to go with El Fuego. Everyone's so PC nowadays. It's
I
getting
know.
out of control.
You'll find in advertising that especially people have the guts of like field mice. Basically, they're probably the most cowardly people in the world.
Not the Carl's Jr. guys, but they do get like cut off a lot by whoever they're working for. Like they'll come up with certain things that are almost too edgy that we never get to see.
Sure. And then you run it through committee. Anything you run through committee is pretty much gonna suck. I hate to say it, but the more people involved in the project, the worse it's eventually going to be.
So tell me about, because that was a campaign, tell me about that audition process, because those are usually very specific and different. Give us a little story on that, how you got that, what made you stand out.
I think because I had my own Speedo that I brought to the audition. Also, I had a leather.
Did you really wear a Speedo?
Yeah, because I know the Fred Goss
Nothing
was
else,
director.
just a Speedo.
Fred, yeah, my friend Fred was the director. They'd been sitting around. They were like in Santa Monica. They're like, I walk in the room. It's just sometimes that's the way it is in commercials.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just walk in the room and you're just like, clink. This job belongs to me. You walk in. You're just like, boom. I literally was jumping off the walls, like doing like deep lunging stretches and like touching my groin on the ground. I was just like, yeah, you know, doing the whole thing. And they were laughing, and that was honestly, that was it. I was in the room for like 15 minutes. I come out, 4 other guys sitting there all wearing their version of wrestler gear, and they're just like, yeah, congratulations, you got the job. I'm like, I totally got the job.
That's awesome. Well, let's take a look at spicy steak, because that's part of the campaign too.
You want a piece of me, steak? Well, I want a piece of you. Huh? Spicy, spicy. No. Yes. No.
Can you take on Friday's new spicy Jack Daniels grill? Get your favorite Jack Daniels grill entrees now with a spicy kick.
Can you try out more Fridays what you get?
Wow, he's really like, he likes spicy food, but he just can't handle it.
He's kind of a poser, the Inferno.
Hey, Mikey, what's going on in the chat?
Well, first of all, Crapids says, Kirk, you're funny. So that's a compliment.
Thanks, Crapids.
And then they actually have a good idea here, Rebecca, for the show. Instead of the people that we can no longer get, like instead of the Taco Bell dog, we could get the voice of the Taco Bell dog.
Ooh, that's good.
Instead of the free credit report guy who's Canadian French, get the singer that dubbed for him. And then instead of Billy Mays, they're suggesting we get his wingman Sully. These are all good ideas. If we can't get Laverne, we get Shirley. I think that's what they're getting at. Question for Kirk. Kirk, when you're on the other side of the camera running a casting session, what is just the craziest, most ridiculous thing you've seen anybody do ever?
Well, I remember that one time in particular, I can't remember what the audition was for, but this old woman, not that old, Hollywood old. She was like probably late 60s, early 70s, painted on, makeup. She looked like Gloria Swanson. She had like dyed red hair, and she comes in the room at the end of the day. If you're an actor, never show up for the last audition. You know, never be last. If your audition's in the last hour of the day, show up a half an hour early. I'm just telling you. Anyway, machines are all off. Tape is over, already set up. She comes in, she's like, I'm here for the audition. I didn't even turn the equipment on. I just was like, pointed the camera, and I was like, go ahead. She goes, and she does her thing, and it's creepy crazy. And then she turns to me and she goes, can I do it better? Can I do it better? And I go, yeah, you can do it better. And she does it again. And she goes, can I do it better? Can I do it better? And I go, yeah. And I didn't even tape her.
Oh, what happened to her?
She probably went back to her mansion on Sunset Boulevard.
But what if she was the one? No, you knew.
She was
you
not.
Knew.
She was not.
You were like, I'm not even gonna waste tape on this. Do you think that when you were working behind the camera, you kind of just knew when people came in?
Oh, absolutely.
Like how? How would you? When they first walked in, or when they did the audition?
You can tell a pro from an amateur right away. They just walk in. They're totally not like, oh my god, this is a TV room. This is what's gonna happen. Where do I look? Like they're just like, cool. This is the deal. I'm gonna walk in. I can be funny and offhandedly. I can be offhandedly funny. I can be sort of self-deprecating, and I have a real clear sense of presence into that camera.
Cool.
Like it's no accident that I'm here, you know. Like for people who are really good, you can tell right away, and people who work a ton are often like that, like me.
So I need to start acting like that. Well, I never really auditioned for commercials. Isn't that ironic? I do a show about commercials, but I've just never been really that into commercials.
Are you serious? You don't go out for commercials?
I never have really ever auditioned for commercials. It's the strangest thing. Enough about me, Mike. We'll talk about it after the show, Kirk. Mike.
Yeah, a couple quick shout-outs. Cynical Optimist has chimed in. Delta 261, Fundio, Anastasia, Sober Drunk, and the chat desk. Oh, that's me. We have some questions. Marks09 wants to know, Kirk, those particular spots, how long did they take to complete? And then Drink Moxie wants to know if you got to keep the costume. I
did get to keep some of the costume.
Cool.
It was custom made by this like old Korean guy in Burbank who had like Batman, and we had pictures of literally everybody. It was the coolest old school Hollywood place I've ever been. And what was the first question? Well, how long did it take? It just took one day.
Well, we're so excited that you got to keep something, because I can't tell you how many times we got guests and we ask them that question, and you guys know what I'm talking about. They never get to keep anything.
Yeah,
so.
I wish I brought my flaming wrist guards, because I still have them.
Well, we can bring those the next time you come on commercial break.
Totally.
We'll show everybody. This next clip I have of Kirk is more of an actor clip, and the reason why I'm showing this is because it's very clever and it's very funny. And this was something that was shot by whom?
Is this Houseplace?
Oscars. This is the Oscars
Oh,
thing.
this is by David Fickus. at Drama 34. Drama 34, check them out online.
Yeah, they're like an online company that they do a bunch of web series. This is from the Oscars 2008, I believe. It's sort of a spoof on No Country for Old Men. So let's go ahead and take a look.
What's the most you ever lost in a coin toss?
What?
The most you ever lost in a coin toss?
Whether or not to kick off or receive it. Again?
Call it, friendo.
Well, isn't he supposed to call it in the air?
Just call it.
I think I was supposed to call it when it's in the air.
I can't call it for you. You have to call it. It wouldn't be fair. Call it.
Heads, I guess. No, wait. Heads.
Do you know the date on this coin?
Does that matter?
1958. It's been traveling 22 years to get here.
What year is it?
I think your math is off.
And you have to decide, heads or tails. You have to call it.
Why don't we just flip it again?
Do you want me to call it?
You stand to win the decision to kick or receive. Call it.
All right, heads.
Well done.
We'll kick.
They decided to kick. Put it in your pocket. Don't put it in your pocket, sir. That's your lucky coin. Put it in your pocket. It mixes in with the rest of the change. It becomes just another coin. Which is...
I'm a fucking weirdo.
That's amazing to me because that guy was just like the guy.
That was the amazing Luigi DiBiase, who was also in a lot of commercials. He gets cinematic commercials, beautiful ones. He's great, like his facial expressions. And the other guy, Michael Cornacchia, also in a ton of spots. Both good friends of mine and very talented
Yeah,
guys.
you guys were all extremely talented in that. And he just, I mean, he looked just like him. I mean, I don't remember what that actor's name from the movie is. I can't think of it right now. But
Javier Bardem.
Javier Bardem.
Yes, thank you guys.
Anton Chigurh.
I mean, he sounded just like him. He looked just like him. It was amazing. He
I
did
heard that, because that was for the MTV Movie Awards last year, and I heard that MTV was thinking of using him as a recurring thing in the show, like bringing him on as Anton Chigurh, as Anton Chigurh. He was great. He was so funny.
It was amazing. I love it. Mike.
Yes, De-Evolution thinks that instead of Billy Mays, we can get Al from Home Improvement, and that'll be almost as good. And then a couple questions for Kirk. Drink Moxie wants to know, having seen the spot with your jersey, if K-U-R-K is in fact how you spell your name.
Nope, that isn't. It's K-I-R-K. I'm not sure where they came up with that jersey.
Mike, one more.
And then Kirk, again, this dates back to the second episode of Commercial Break. We asked this of everybody, this time from Original Justin. Kirk, have you ever played Jenga Extreme?
Of course I have played Jenga Extreme. Who hasn't?
I mean, really, you guys.
I mean, we all had jury duty? What?
Everybody in LA owns Jenga Extreme. That's a secret that a lot of people don't know. We all have it.
I mean, I can't handle the stress of regular Jenga. I don't even know. I don't think my heart could hold up to Jenga Extreme.
I can barely handle Connect 4.
I also have a weak bladder. And a hammer toe.
I have hammer toes.
Do you really? Well,
yeah.
I don't know what that is. That thing's just a funny word.
Your toes look like hammers.
Like hammers? Like you have little tiny hammer heads and then a claw on the back that you can pull nails out with?
Yes, exactly.
Right.
Hey, you guys, I want to let you guys know a little bit. Kirk has a web series for Grape Nuts. But it's actually like little episodes. They're not just about the cereal. They're really funny. But they somehow tie the cereal into these funny little stories. It's at www.theguysmanual.msn.com. Later on tonight or tomorrow or whatever, if you want to take a look at that. It's very funny. He also has his own web series that he created with a friend called Houseplace on YouTube. It's very popular, and it's a home improvement spoof. And we're going to go ahead and take a look at this next clip, which is from Houseplace.
Oh, hey there, and welcome back to Houseplace. Or should I say, under Houseplace. We're here underneath this house today to take a look at an area that most homeowners take for granted. Underneath your house. It's not as nice down here as inside the house. There's no heating or cooling. There's no floors, walls, or running water. And the ceiling's just 2 feet high. In fact, it's mostly just dirt, dead bugs, and a little raccoon shit. But to help us take a better look at it, we brought in our underhouse expert, Ted Seeger. Hey, Ted.
Oh, hey, Kirk, how are you?
It's good to see you.
Oh, good to see you.
So, we're here under house.
Yeah,
What can you tell us about it?
Well, you know, Kirk, most people think that their house was built right on the dirt below it, but that's not true. In fact, most houses are built on a foundation.
A foundation? What is that?
Yeah, well, a foundation is a short concrete wall that runs the perimeter of your house that your house actually sits on.
Sounds to me like a foundation's pretty important.
Oh, Kirk, it's vitally important. In fact, you could say that house and its foundation are married to one another.
Your house's spouse.
Exactly, Kirk. You know, and a good foundation like a marriage based on truth and openness, well, that'll last you years to come. But a bad foundation like a marriage based on drugs and group sex, well, that's not gonna last you 6 months.
How's your wife?
She's in Mexico with her swingers club.
All right. So what about this house, Ted? How's the foundation?
Well, you know, this foundation looks fantastic, Kirk. Not a crack to be found. In fact, you get all your municipalities coming in here. You have your water down there, your sewer line, and, you know, back here, where the Netflix comes right on in.
Oh.
Yeah, and these beams look good, too. You know, I've been looking at them. Not a beaver or a woodpecker to be found.
Well, Ted, it sounds like this foundation is in ship shape.
Well, it sure is, Kirk. You know, you're very lucky to have found a house like this. This is looking fantastic.
Great.
Crappers.
What?
Well, it looks like you got a guy stay problem.
Is that serious?
It all depends.
What is a guy stay, Ted?
Oh, it's when a guy is staying under your house.
Well, that is a guy.
Yeah, we're seeing this more and more these days. The economy taking a dumper and house prices sky high. People looking for a cheap place to sleep, Kirk.
Ted, what's the best way to get rid of a guy stay?
Well, I like to just ask him real nicely and politely if they'll come out from underneath the house and have a chit-chat with me. Excuse me, what's your name?
Ernie.
Ernie, how are you? I'm Ted. This is Kirk.
Hi, Ernie. Welcome to Houseplace.
Hey, Ernie, why don't you and I take a little chit-chat outside, huh?
Pepperoni.
Yeah, I got some pepperoni for you, no problem. They're all the same, Kirk. I got this one.
Okay, well, be careful, Ted. Ted's going to take care of that one. While he does, why don't we take a look at a toilet tutorial? Wow, Ted, Ernie was really dug in there. What did it take to get him out?
Well, it took a little persuasion and a lot of pepperoni.
Well, for Houseplace, I'm Kirk Zipfel.
And I'm Ted Seeger.
Ernie!
And we'll see you next time. Tune in when we take an in-depth look at nudie calendars and storm drains.
Can't wait for that one.
What should we do about him?
He's just crazy living there.
Leave him there?
Yeah.
Hey, Ernie, if I catch you under my house again, I'm going to light you on fire.
Good job.
Thank you.
That was awesome.
Thank you.
Sorry about that momentary lapse in my brain. I was talking to Chloe. Chloe, rice powder, rice powder, rice powder. Mike, what do they think of that? That was pretty funny, huh?
Lady Sniper and Anastasia both think it's incredibly claustrophobic. And then Drink Moxie and WestJet want to know if that was a set or if that was actually shot under some kind of house.
That was at my own house, shot in the 40-year-old dirt packed underneath it. Probably got bitten by like 2 scorpions.
Really?
Yeah, oh yeah. I've sent my friends, I mean, we were crawling around in the dirt underneath my house. It was pretty
And your
awesome.
house is really old on the west side, like an old bungalow or something?
No, it's like this you know, duplex in Venice has been there since 1960.
Wow.
It was pretty gross. I mean, like when the time came to actually do it, I'm like, all right, we set it up down there.
And so
I don't want to go in there. I do not want to crawl underneath that house.
And
we
so,
just sat down there.
So Ernie had been under there probably, maybe since 1969. We don't know.
Yeah.
It could have been.
He was born in 1969.
Mikey?
Well, WestJet has a follow-up question. How do you get under your house?
There's an access hole next to the gas meter. You can get under there. You got to put some plywood over it so that the neighborhood cats don't take up residence in there.
Yeah.
Oh, we have another lookalike from Gothic Smurf and WestJet. That Kirk, you look like John C. Reilly from Step Brothers.
No, I get John C. Reilly a lot too. I'll take that. I'll take that over Seth Rogen. Actually.
I can see some John C. Reilly. You're way better looking than Seth Rogen. Seth Rogen's cute, but you're way cuter.
I mean, let's be honest. I'm way cuter than
You're
just about
hot.
everybody. I'm freaking hot.
Hot.
You should see me naked.
And you're funnier than Pat Keane, right? Because we talked about that.
Yeah,
Just
I'm way
shout out
funnier
to
than
Pat.
Pat Keane.
Are we going to see you naked? Do we have that spot?
Yeah, we brought that one.
Nice.
Or we could just go live.
Yeah, there was that one. That campaign got canceled really fast.
Thank God we're high def now.
Well, without further ado, we do have one more for you guys. We have one more. Wait, what's your character's name from Fridays? What was his name?
Oh, well, he's called the Inferno, but we can call him El Fuego, just like they wanted to.
El Fuego. I'm gonna rebel and I'm gonna call him El Fuego. Let's take a look at Half Rack.
This one is called the Half Rack of Pain.
Oh, that makes me look real good.
I can hear you.
Killer.
Now that one, why didn't they give you a real rack of ribs? They thought it was funnier without it.
All those ones were shot as internet tags. Those were like supposed to. They eventually did wind up on a website. We shot the 4 major spots that day, and then they brought in a digital camera, and we just shot like 10 or 12 internet tags. I was so exhausted. I'd been there for like 16 hours. I couldn't even speak. You can hear how hoarse I am. And I was getting on a plane the next morning for New York City. It was just like the end of the day. They're like, please. I'm like, I can't talk or move.
Now, tell us more about the internet thing, because you said a lot of stuff that you're booking nowadays, there's always that tied into it too now. How has that changed things for actors? Is it better for you guys? Is it not so good? I mean, what do you think?
Well, I mean, if you book a Class A network spot, if you book like a major commercial, for, Arby's. Okay, there you go. There's probably going to be a component where they are going to put something on the web. So you'll get the Class A network runs and be on TV, and then you'll get the internet stuff, which is nice. You make more money. But a lot of times now that people are kind of cheaping out and advertisers are freaking out about TiVo and the lack of people watching commercials anyway, a lot of times they'll just do internet-only commercials, which are kind of like, the kiss of death.
Yeah, the internet things are like, if I want to watch a news clip, there's always a commercial right before it that they make me sit through, and I'm like, looking away, drinking my coffee. And so I've noticed that a lot of stuff now is going that route. And everybody that we've had on here, like you've done a campaign, Andrew Hawtrey, the Progressive Girl, well, she's got all the TV stuff, plus she's got, Stephanie's got all that internet stuff too. I mean, it just seems like they take all the characters onto the internet as well. Mike, do they have more questions? I mean, Kirk is an expert, you guys, in commercials. Like, any questions you want answered, he knows. So please pick his brain. He knows a lot of stuff about the commercial industry. Mike, I'm gonna throw it over to you.
Sure, we have some questions. Quick shout-outs. WestJet, Woolsville 316, Keith Fries. Anastasia Fall still hanging around. Captain Knuckles thinks Seth Rogen looks like a pot-smoking hobo. I think that's fairly accurate. And then back over in Stickham, Original Justin, 71 Recon, and Sober Drunk typing in highlighter font for some reason. Drink Moxie wants to know, Kirk, if Ernie is still under your house. And 1 Alien 2 says, hey, I worked under that house. I recognize the floor joist.
Yeah, we use 16-inch joists there, so yeah, you probably are familiar with it. What? What are you talking about?
Is Ernie still under your house?
Ernie, he's been spending some time there. I've been feeding him pepperoni. You can see more of those episodes at my YouTube channel, Kirk Zipfel, or youtube.com/Kirk Zipfel. Not to pimp my own self on the TV, but
we'll
pimp me.
Care.
Come on, I'll pimp myself.
We're gonna pimp you, Mike. Couple more before we get to sell this.
Tumor20 wants to know if Inferno could take Jack from the Jack in the Box spots.
Yeah, the Inferno could definitely drop a hammer hold on Jack. Jack's got a giant bulbous head. I would just go straight for the eyes. I mean, what is he gonna do? I've got wrist shields. I've got golden underpants on. Looks like I could drop my thigh right in his face.
So I noticed from your IMDb that, by the way, you guys, you can check Kirk out on imdb.com. You can search him there. You were on The Lot. Mm-hmm. Did you create stuff for On the Lot, that show, or were you in it as an actor? Like,
I was just in it as an actor. They cast me to be one of almost like a small ensemble of actors that they would use each week to make the show. I don't know if you guys remember the show. It was on Fox 2 years ago. was a competition show where the winner was, I mean, it's for directors, and then the winner won a deal with DreamWorks, and I was one of the actors that they used each week to make the shorts. It was a great experience, and a lot of really great actors, were on the show, and I got to work.
Did you get to meet Steven Spielberg when you did that?
No,
oh,
he didn't show up.
He didn't show
time.
up. How awful.
Yeah, it's okay. I mean, I met Gary Marshall and Carrie Fisher and
cool.
A lot of other great
amazing people in the business. You were also in Mr. Robinson's driving school with the guy from The Office, right?
Yeah, with Craig Robinson.
That's cool. And when was that on? A couple years ago, or?
No, that was last. I think it was last summer, but I think it's still available on YouTube. Mr. Robinson's driving school. It's like a 16-part series. Featuring Craig Robinson and shot by, again, the guys at Drama 3-4 who did the Grape Nuts stuff. Yeah, with Kenny Mayne also did the, Kenny Mayne from ESPN's Main Street. He's the host of the Grape Nuts, the guy's manual at msn.com.
That's really cool. The web series stuff has just been huge in the last few years, so check them out, you guys. They're obviously really good at new media. And we're going to get to sell this, so Mike, get those adjectives, and I'm going to take a few more questions too while the show's still live. Get those adjectives into Mike, because Kirk is going to sell you a mystery item. How are we doing, Mike?
We're good. We are locked and loaded for adjectives. You want them now?
Cool.
Or?
Yeah, let's go.
All right. Let's see. And we have some backlogs of questions. We're going to get to those either before the end of the show or in the post-show. Drink Moxie's adjective is itchy. Let's see. Starliner has chimed in with supple. Anastasia Fall says translucent. Loyal Casanova is going with picklicious. And rounding out the top 5, and this just hurts me, but I have to do it. Tumor20 says roided.
As in steroids?
Yep.
Thanks, Chloe. I didn't even think of that.
Those are good words. I like picklicious especially, and roided. I mean, we're doing this now?
Yeah, we're going to do it in like a second whenever you're ready.
Whenever I'm ready. I was born ready to do this.
Yeah, do your thing. Do your thing. Okay, so you guys, the adjectives are, you ready? Itchy, supple, translucent, picklicious, roided. I'm just glad that there's no Genalicious on that list tonight. Thank you very much. Okay, so take it away, Kirk, whenever you're ready.
I really don't know the premise of what I'm doing here, but I'm going to sell you guys this. Hi, welcome. How you doing? Good to see you guys out there in internet land. Maybe take a look at this. This is what we call industrial plant. You're going to learn about this if you get into this industry. A lot of people out there watching on the internet, they want to be in the commercial industry. Well, this is a clamp, man, and you're going to need one of these things. Man, if you got an itch, so you say kind of itchy going over here, a little something going on over there. I have no idea, Mike, what I'm doing. I'm dying over here. I'm literally dying. Picklicious. This is picklicious. I use that word. Translucent, not so much. Not so much translucent. They actually make it solid so you can't see through it. But this is one of those things that you get in the industry that's like, it doesn't really do anything. It's not true, it does a lot of stuff, but it's always going to be hanging around. It's always one of those things, like, you're working in show business, so when there's like a bunch of clamps around, some lights and some ropes, cables, this and that. That's what it's all about. You learn about it. So this is basically a clothespin that's been roided up, got roided in there, and this is used to hold a lot of different stuff. This stinks. I am dying over here. Supple, use that one too. How's that?
Good job.
Nicely
no
done.
No pressure here at Commercial Break, Kirk Zipfel. No pressure.
That was
Rebecca?
What?
Drink Moxie is putting in the adjective for next week, the first one, Genalicious, and they're requesting that I write it down right now. And then Gothic Smurf wants to know if, Kirk, will you take the clamp and put it on one of your nipples?
Oh.
This is a G-rated internet.
I'm assuming that was for Kirk really and not Becca. I don't.
Gothic Smurf.
Gothic Smurf, you are naughty.
You're naughty.
You are picklicious.
You're just wrong. You're just picklicious roided. Whatever that means.
Picklicious.
I also want to give a shout out to Lady Sniper Anastasia, Cynical Optimist, and there's a few more in there that I know Mike has already given some attention to, but I know you're here tonight, and I want to say thank you guys for tuning in. Couple more questions, because I know we had a backlog of questions for Kirk.
Absolutely.
So let's
go. Drink Moxie wants to know, Kirk, have you ever done a spot that you just can't watch?
Yes, I have. I did a spot for Summer's Eve. Summer's Eve, baby. It's all about the freshness.
Are you kidding me?
You know what? It's one of those. It's a rite of passage in this business. You got to do some feminine hygiene. You know why? Because they make tons of money. They make one commercial like this every year, and they run it all on like daytime television.
God.
Literally, Class A network runs every day. Boom, 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 boom. I made $35,000 off of one Summer's Eve spot. Where I'm sitting there watching TV, like with the remote control. The wife comes in, she's like, honey, they're gonna be here in 2 minutes. You wanna change? I take my shirt off, turn it inside out, put it back on. Because in this world, there's two versions of freshness, okay? There's a man's version, and then there's a woman's. She had to go into the shower and be like, but it was, I mean, it's literally humiliating that my family saw that, everybody I know, but I made money.
It could have been a lot more humiliating, though, because it sounds like your part was kind of just normal and fun. It's the women that do those commercials, and all those commercials, it's so embarrassing for people.
I know. They flew me to Albuquerque to make that spot. Like
Albuquerque, why
it's too embarrassing to shoot it here. They're like,
we need to hide the
shoot. We need to be like
shoot.
900 miles out of LA, because this is
We're going to hide it in Albuquerque. Mike,
we don't have
questions.
that spot? We didn't get that one?
I didn't even know it existed.
Well, of course, now the comments are coming in. Starliner wants to know, were you running in a field of flowers? Drink Moxie wants to know, Kirk, do you feel fresh today? And then Anastasia raises a good point, Kirk, and I think you've made this point eloquently. Money makes everything less humiliating.
It's true. It certainly does.
So true.
Almost, it's not. It's a little bit worse than having to eat whatever on camera. Eating on camera is never fun because the food always tastes disgusting.
You guys, Kirk has like hundreds of commercials. Like I couldn't possibly get them all, and we wouldn't have enough time to show them. But you can try to Google him and find him. And Mike, a couple more questions, and then I'm going to give them all his info.
Sure. First of all, Uncle Paulie thinks, Kirk, man, you've got some beautiful chest hair.
Totally do.
So that's nice.
I keep my chest fro really rocking.
We're going to braid it.
Anastasia Fall thinks you look like Mark Wahlberg, and have you gotten that one before?
I get it so often. It's like someone telling me, hey man, you're totally awesome. I get all that all the time. Mark Wahlberg.
And then, let's see, another Drink Moxie question. Have you ever had to cut your hair for a spot, and if not, would you?
Sure. I mean, you have to do that kind of dumb stuff all the time. They always ask you in the audition, like, you willing to shave? You're like, let me think about that. You make $14,000 for 1 day's work? No, I'm not going to shave. Forget it, man. I'm keeping this 6 days of beard growth.
Yeah.
You shave. I'd shave my head.
I think I would too.
Your hair is such a signature part of your look, though.
You'd think so, but it's actually fake. It's not even my real hair.
It's a wig, you guys.
It's a wig.
He came in bald. He put on a wig.
I don't mean to chime in here, but I was on an audition once with another guy. It was me and another guy in a room, and he had like longer hair. He was supposed to play like this computer nerdy dude. And the casting director, it was a callback, and the casting director literally looked at him and was like, "Are you willing to like shave your beard, like trim it down?" The guy goes, "No."
That guy's an idiot.
No. He was an idiot, and it was like, "What are you doing, dude?"
That's what you call sabotage, self-sabotage.
Self-sabotaging. Okay, you guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us. Real quick, make sure you go to theguysmanual.msm.com. I can't talk tonight. And if you go to YouTube, you just put YouTube/Kirk Zipfel for his. You can watch his clips from the Laugh Factory. Kirk is an amazing stand-up comedian. He does a lot with the guitar. He has a hilarious clip on there called Butterface. You should really, really watch it, and many other songs on there. Check him out. Also, hit him up on imdb.com. And do you have a MySpace or a Facebook you want to give us, or a website?
Sure. Facebook.com/Kirk Zipfel. Friend me. Let's be internet friends.
And anything else? Any other web pages we need to know about?
No, that's it.
All right.
You guys know all the big ones.
Sweet. Well, you guys, thank you so much for tuning in. We're going to do a post-show, so stick around. It's going to be me, Mike, Kirk, and we'll be hanging out with you in a little bit to answer more of your questions. And good night to you guys from Los Angeles, here from Commercial Break.